What's up, fellow seekers and mystics? This is Icarus, and I'm coming at you with a long form reading today. And we are performing this at 2:55 p.m., at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. And this is being performed under the planetary rulership of the Sun and within the planetary hour of the Sun. So if you don't know what that is, there's a book called Planetary Magic, and it describes how to determine what planetary or celestial ruler is ruling over the current hours of the day. And then there's just a general rulership, which is like this reading is being performed on Sunday. So the general rulership is Sunday, and then within the planetary hour of the Sun. So we're really maximizing that scope of Tifereth and the sphere of Tifereth, which determines beauty, health, the giving of life, warmth. It also represents the ego and everything externalized. It represents a collaboration, right? It's the cohesive ladder of everything else within the solar system. So that is the energies that we're going to channel, and then we're going to have a couple things throughout this reading. We're going to determine if this reading is for you. That's going to be the first card that I'll draw. That's going to be after the preparation. And then, so if you want to see if you want to skip ahead through the preparation of the reading, you can do that. Skip ahead to who the reading is for. Then we're going to draw a general theme for the reading, and then we're going to draw 7 cards to do just the general reading. So here we go. First preparation. What we're going to do is we're going to light the candles and light the incense. We want to clear our mind. Feel free to participate in this if you feel called to do so. So I'm just going to do some box breathing. That is, hold for 4 seconds. Exhale 4 seconds. Hold 4 seconds. Inhale 4 seconds. And as I'm doing this, I'm imagining 3 concentric circles at the center of my forehead. And those 3 concentric circles represent the 3 emanations of creation. So the nothing that then creates the something that then creates the breath. And we're going to repeat that process with our candles and the lighting of the incense. So this first candle, this is darkness. So first there was darkness, and then there was light. And from the light, the breath was created. We are using amber incense to represent the sun. Now I'm going to go in a counterclockwise pattern to represent the negative polarity. Then we're going to go from the top, and we're going to go in a clockwise pattern to represent the positive polarity. Then we're going to perform a cross with both hands. And we are finished with that. And while you're doing the Om, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to vibrate the vagus nerve that runs all the way through the body, and you can feel it. The deeper and the more that you resonate with that, the more chakras you can hit with that vibration. So now that we have our alignment, I'm going to ask the 3 emanations, the source of all creation, please lead this reading. Give whoever it is that is meant to hear this message. Allow my hands to find the cards necessary to reveal the message that they are seeking, and allow my words to interpret the cards, to allow it to resonate as deeply with their soul as possible so that they may achieve their goals and mission for their life here on earth. Thank you and amen. So this first card is going to represent, is this reading for you? So is this reading for you? We will find out with this card, and there it is. So we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is the second reading I've had in a row where a 3 has, let's see if I can get this in the light here, where a card has revealed itself as who this reading is for. So the 3s also are represented by several different things. The Three of Pentacles itself. So if you are in dealings with somebody and collaborating on a team and you're seeking some guidance for working on that team, or if this pertains to, I'm getting contracts, if you're seeking help with contracts or trying to understand what's going on with a contract or a binding agreement. I'm also seeing there's this knife here. That's, if you feel like you've been stabbed in the back, maybe, then this reading is for you. And I'm also seeing if you are working on a collaborative project with somebody and you can't quite understand where they're coming from, that's another signal for this is the reading for you. 3s are also can be ruled under, that's the sphere of Binah in the Tree of Life. So that may be, that's Saturnian energy. So if you are a Capricorn or if you are an Aquarius, those are two things that Saturn rules over. That's very, very minor though. Those energies are very, very diminished within the meaning of this card. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that. So there may be 1 or 2 things from this reading that you'll gather. But I would really say that this is meant for people that are working on a team and they're trying to understand maybe their role in the team, or try to understand, like, is somebody stabbing me in the back? Am I getting deceived in some way? So we'll just leave it at that. And next we're going to go with the general theme of the reading. So this is going to be the theme that this entire reading revolves around. Cut the deck. Okay, and here is your theme. The Four of Pentacles. So, Four of Pentacles is having a firm grip on the material world, a firm grip on your finances. So the theme of this reading is making sure that you are grounded, finding out the understanding necessary to what you're holding on to, as well as maybe what is being brought forth to you from a higher source. That's what this pentacle is really representing to me right now. You have this golden mask, so again, because this is being led by the sun, I'm seeing this as there is a part of your ego that needs to be addressed in this reading, and that this theme is really going to be addressing your egoic self. And there's nothing wrong with the egoic self, so don't take that as this is something that needs to be destroyed, but this is something that needs to be revealed so that you can walk further on your path for your soul's mission. So now we are going to draw 7 cards. And we're going to start here at the bottom. That will be the Earth. This is essentially Earth. We're going to work our way up this way into the center card, which would be the outcome. And this first card is just going to let me know the energies that are within your life right now. These are going to be the energies that maybe are within you or just near you, something that is very immediate within your vicinity. And these could be energies that are working with you, against you, or that you are placing out into the universe. That one. Okay. So we have the Four of Wands. Now this is the second 4 already, so 4 is going to be significant. 4 of Wands, so you have a very stable structure, and this is another card of stability, right? It is structure coming into its groundedness, if you will. So we have these 2 women celebrating this structure being built. This is also a card of marriage. So if this pertains to, if you're dealing with maybe some marital stuff, and again, this could be going through contracts. I'm getting, possible divorce or thinking about divorce, again, with this reading for somebody that feels like they're being betrayed. The energies that are currently around you is focusing on your stability, maybe your home life, how all of this impacts your really structural foundation of everything within your life. So we're going to leave it at that. I might come back to that, but that's all I'm getting for that one right now. And this next card, we're going to say, what are your goals, right? What are your goals that pertain to your deep self. So these are going to be goals that aren't necessarily right at the tip of your mind. These are going to be goals that are going to be deep. They're going to be soul level. They're going to be things that you came down here to do. Okay, so these are not things that you've written down to maybe manifest because your egoic self, right? Because your egoic self wants them. This is something that your soul has come down here to do, and some deep down desires. So that would be that one. All right, we have the Five of Swords. So right now, one of your goals is to get out. I'm just seeing that there's a deep soul desire to leave the situation you're in because you're hurt, you feel a little broken. There's something going on with your thoughts that is very disruptive. And there's something going on with you that you feel like you need to leave this situation. And I think that again, with this egoic self and the theme of this reading, and your current energy is being focused around stability, there's a large fear of leaving that. And that this 5 is trying to reveal to you, like, you're holding on to your foundations a little too tight. Again, if this is in marriage, right, which is definitely something that I'm hearing, this is something where your soul is asking you, pick up what you have and then leave. Now, that's a big, there's a big caveat to that, right? If you're already going through divorce proceedings, this is kind of asking you, like, hey, you can be okay with that. You just pick up the thoughts that pertain to you, pick up everything that you value, and then leave the situation with your head held high. You may feel bad about leaving people in despair, and if this goes back to like a contractual meeting, the goal that your subconscious is trying to get you to see is that there's something within this situation that you need to pick up and leave. Okay. Now, if you're actively in contractual negotiations, what it's asking you to do is to perhaps find the things within the contract that do serve you, and leave the things out of the contract that don't serve you. And your fear of disappointing these other people, the other contractual party, it's necessary for you to learn this, that you need to release the idea that by doing so, you're going to lose this contract, right? Or maybe this contract just isn't right for you. So it's not even saying that you need to stop whatever you're doing contractually, but what it is saying is that the contract that you're getting into, you need to identify the things that are beneficial for you and the parties that you're serving, right? And if you think that somebody's stabbing you in the back, this is a perfect confirmation of that, right? Where the swords are out and you need to leave before or find the things that are necessary to serve you before they do that to you, I guess, is the best way to put that. So let's keep moving. Now this next one, this is going to be the opposition for you, right? So these are going to be the things that are the energies that are running resistance for you and to you in order to get you to learn some sort of lesson. In this one. All right, and then we have the Two of Pentacles. So with the Two of Pentacles, you are juggling these two different energies, and there is a choice being presented to you. So the resistance that you're encountering is because there's a choice that you need to learn how to make that choice, right? You are holding on to something very tightly, and whatever it is you're holding on to, it's asking you, which one do you want, right? So the resistance that's coming in is the choice. And so whatever choice it is, it's asking you to make the choice, and it's asking you to ride the wave as well, which is what that very turbulent wave in behind the figure here is saying. So the resistance coming in is saying, I'm giving you this choice. You've been holding on to your current choice, which you are not making a choice, right? You've been trying to kind of weigh the options. The goal here is to get everything that you can out of whatever situation this is, okay? So whatever situation it is, you need to gather up everything that is good for you, that serves you, leave behind what doesn't serve you, okay? And be okay with that choice. Now, maybe I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's maybe a little indecisive, and that's why this foundation is the current energy, is because you're very, very comfortable within your foundations and within the egoic self that you've built up. This egoic self that you've built up, what this is also revealing to me is that this is just a mask for you. So this mask that you're carrying around, this ability to weigh options, right? That is the obstacle to overcome, in that the universe is asking you to be decisive. And that's why this Five of Swords is coming out, and that's why the Five of Swords is the goal. That's the subconscious goal, because the karmic lesson you're trying to learn right now is the ability to make decisions and to stand with those decisions, right? With the theme of this reading also being that you're given a higher opportunity, what this is also saying is that whatever choice you make, there will be more choices in the future, right? So there's no need to think that this is a choice so important that it is the end of choices within your life, which is kind of silly to say, but I feel like you need to hear that right now, where there are going to be plenty of choices in the future. So stop putting so much stock into this choice, because more choices are coming to you from above, right? All right, next we are going to focus on your fears. So these are going to be anything that potentially you might be afraid of. And this is also going to be your false beliefs as well. So these may be things that you believe that are just illusions, that, maybe some things that you need to get rid of here. Okay, so the Eight of Wands. So your fear is too much movement, too much change and disruption within your life, which is why the energy of stable foundations is surrounding you right now. And it's also why you've kind of balanced choices within your life. You've tried to juggle all the choices at once, and you feel like if you make one decision, that maybe everything in your life will be swept away very quickly. This also leads into a false belief, where you have this false belief that things are going to change and are going to shift, and the waves, you're not going to be able to ride the waves, right? Which is also a challenge that's being presented to you. So one fear that you may have is that things move in a direction that you either aren't anticipating or are unable to see where you're going to land. And the universe is asking you, like, get rid of this foundational thinking. This is all egoic within yourself. Let go of the idea that you're going to stay stable all the time. There's nothing in the universe that stays stable, ever. Everything decays and everything dies so that it can be reborn and regrow, right? And so it's asking you, it's saying, move on to the next chapter before you rest too much into decay and cause more damage than if you were to just continue moving forward with what you're thinking right now. Next card, we're going to look into the higher energies that are working with you. So we're going to, if you have, specific deities that you work with, if you have, either if you're working with God, if you're working with source or universe or creation or archangels or whatever you want to call it. We're going to look at those right now. Who is helping you? Who is trying to get you to learn this lesson, and who is looking out for you? This could be the mercurial spirit. That one. Okay, so I had three. Holy cow. All right, I had 3 cards come out. Well, that's the last 1, 2, 3. Okay. Interesting. Look at this. Okay. So this is typically the karmic lesson, and then this is going to be the outcome. So we have what's working with you, the karmic lesson, and then the outcome. So right here, we have the 6 of Cups. So what's working with you is a spirit or something from your childhood that is trying to show you the way. And what it's doing is it's gifting you this lesson. And typically this card ties into up over here, right? So you can imagine this is the person from your childhood that is, or the spirit or entity from your childhood, whoever that is for you, is working with you and revealing to you, here's this choice. I'm giving it to you out of love, right? Which is what the 6 of Cups is representing. It's also representing some sort of innocence. And it's saying that there is going to be some innocence within this choice, and you need to look for that innocence. The innocence may not be apparent right away. This choice is a gift, and this choice is being given to you so that you may make the choice, so that you may then become the Knight of Wands. And so the karmic lesson that is being asked of you is the ability to move forward quickly, right? Which again is one of those fears that you have, right? This is such good symbolism here. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight in the deck, okay? And your fear and your false belief is that moving too fast is not good for you. You are stuck in a stable structure. You're holding on to your foundations too tightly, and you can't build up or build out, right? You're stuck at the foundational level. You're stuck at the beginning stages of something. And in order to advance onto that next stage and get into the next progression, right? Start moving quickly and start moving with authority, right? If we look back on the Five of Swords of the goal of what's happening here, which ties back into the karmic lesson, okay? It's asking you to pick up everything now, move quickly forward to the next objective, to whatever it is that is, even if you don't know what that next objective is. Okay, it's saying that you've stuck a little too long around your foundational level, and it wants you to move forward and say, hey, here's where you need to go next. It's away from here. So whatever it is that you are carrying, whatever burdens you're carrying today, allow that to help you make the next choice of moving forward, right? And you always have the choice. You can stick around, you can stick with the foundational level, and I think that that's probably the first choice. And then the second choice is to ride the wave onto the next thing. And the karmic lesson here is to become this Knight of Wands where you are able to put on your armor, right? Know that you're protected in life. Know that your soul's protected. Know that no matter what you do, you have this protection with you. And that you are able to move through life with speed and force and willpower to manifest what it is you want to manifest, right? You've already gotten the foundation. You understand how to build a foundation, okay? Perhaps the foundation that you're building on right now is either too decayed or too flimsy to build what it is you are trying to build. Or if it is where you want to stay, then focus on building up, right? Focus on going deeper to build higher. So that's your choice. Your choice is stick where you're at and dig in deep, go deep with whatever it is you're working with now and build higher, or it's saying expand outward, right? Move far, far away from where you're at right now. So you have you either have the vertical or you have the horizontal axis that you're going to work with. That's your choice. And becoming the lesson that you learn, being the Knight of Wands, is being able to move through those things, through those choices, very, very well. And I think you already know what choice you're going to make, especially knowing that the whatever choice you're holding onto right now isn't the choice that's the higher choice, right? Now, the outcome of all this is going to be the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety. It is the realm of having to ruminate with the fact that you don't know what's coming next. And you will have to sit with some anxiety. And the outcome of all this, whether you make the choice to stay or leave, right, whatever that means for you, there will be anxiety associated with that, and this is being revealed to you so that you can prepare yourself going into that. And that when that anxiety happens, that's also clarification for you that you are learning this karmic lesson, right? Because you can't move through life quickly without quite a bit of anxiety, without the thoughts of all of your thoughts coming to pierce you and destroy the ideas that you had, right? Because when you move quickly through life and you see all these opportunities before you, all those opportunities can become the daggers that stab you in the back, right? But they also have the ability to promote you into knighthood, right? Which is what a sword does, is the king of swords knights the knight, right? To become a Knight of Swords, or in this case, a Knight of Wands. So that's my reading for you. If you have any, please let me know what kind of choices are you making in life. I'd love to know. I want to hear what it is that you are trying to move away from, or what you need to dig in deeper to build up with, right? So thank you very much for this reading. I'm Icarus the Mystic. Have a great day.